Hi, this is Dr. Hyman, who loves all things writing. Today, allow me to share some grant writing tips for state grants. Grant writing begins with your idea. You have that one idea. You have a grant idea. You need funding, therefore, you've decided to apply for a grant. You have decided to seek a grant from a state granting agency. The work begins. Tips: identify the state granting agency, obtain the agency's guidelines, because as you may know, grant agencies have several programs. That's exciting. Review the guidelines that match your grant idea. Ask questions. Ask questions about the guidelines and ask yourself questions. Does your grant idea align with the guidelines? And then reach out to the program officer for that grant. Creating a relationship with the program officer is important. Note, if the agency offers workshops, attend, build those relationships. Volunteer to serve as a peer reviewer for the grant agency. Maybe not in the program that you have interest, but in another program. Why? Because you get an opportunity to understand how the agency evaluates grants. Also, you get to meet other people who are writing and reviewing grants. Then, after you have reviewed the grant guidelines, spoken with the program officer of the grant, and your institution's grant administrator, if you are a part of an institution, the writing begins. Organize a grant writing team. Collaboration is important. And then follow the guidelines. You may want to have a meeting with your team, and you and your team will go over the guidelines carefully. I have found that to be most helpful. Now, talk about when you meet with your team, there are two important parts for sure that will be included in the grant guidelines. One, the information in terms of the actual proposal, the questions that you need to answer. Answer them very specifically. That's why you need that team. And then the budget. Make sure you are clear about the budget. And then be very specific about what you need. These two items are very, very important because remember, you are seeking money from the agency and you need to give the agency what it is asking for. Complete the grant. Submit the grant at least 2 weeks before it is due. 2 weeks. And then put the grant aside and wait. If you receive the grant, yes, yes, yes. However, if you are not funded, begin again. Don't give up. Contact the program officer. Ask the program officer if you can have a copy of the evaluator's notes, if that's possible. And then set up a meeting with the program officer. The program officers would like to help you. Set up a meeting with the program officer to go over your grant and how you can improve the grant. And then, when it's time to apply for that grant again, apply. I guarantee you, if you keep working at the grant process and trying to follow the guidelines, you will be funded. This is Dr. Hopkins, who loves all things writing, including grants.